today I'm going to teach you how to squat, giving you the proper techniques and a few tips to help you improve your squat and make it a lot better. First of all, if we start at your feet, we'll make sure your feet are about shoulders width apart and that your toes are facing forward. We don't want the feet pointing out at all, not at this point. So, toes forward. A couple more things about your feet. It's best to perform a squat barefoot. Although when you're at gyms or somewhere else, you may not be able to do that, so that's fine. Also try and stay away from any trainers or shoes that have cushioning, as that stops the body and the feet reacting to and feeling the floor. If you can feel more through your feet, then you can feel more during your squat. Final thing about your feet, which a lot of people don't know, is that what you need to do is tense your feet slightly. When you're going into your squat position, again, feet shoulders width apart, pointing forwards. You're going to tense your toes slightly, as if you're going to grip the floor. What it does, it helps support your arch in your foot. Obviously you don't want to grip it so tight that you're going to cause cramp in your foot, or that you're starting to bend your toes too much. It's just that slight tension strengthens your base, and obviously allows you to have a better and stronger squat. If we work up to your knees, when we go into our squat, we don't want our knees to go past our toes. So, imagine there's a line from your toes coming up. You don't want the knees to pass over them. So you want to sit back, make sure the knees and the toes stay in line, or the knees stay behind the toes, and never in front. Keep working our way up. You want to keep your abs nice and tight at all times. So before you even start your squat, tense those abs, and then carry on with your exercise. Working up to the chest, we want to make sure when we go into our squat that our chest doesn't slump forward. So we're going to try and pull our shoulders back as if we're squeezing our shoulder blades together. What that does, it helps to keep the chest nice and proud, and we're trying to keep that chest up as we go into our squat, so we're not slumping down, looking forward, as we're trying to keep the chest nice and proud and looking straight ahead of you, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Obviously with the head, again, try not to look down. So if you look down, you're more likely to get your upper body to follow you, slumping forward. So try and keep upright. If you look in front of you, if you've got a mirror, you can see your posture. Or if you just try and look at a certain point, and as you do the exercise, keep staring at that point. Just try and help keep that body upright. A lot of people can't do their squats properly due to tight muscles. If you've got tight hamstrings, you may find when you go into your squat, your heels come off the ground and your knees go over your toes. This is a common fault. Best way to sort this out is to obviously try and stretch out your hamstrings, just so you can see in some of my other videos, or you can use other instruments to help you with that. Using a plank of wood can help reduce the strain on those tight muscles. So what you do, place your heels onto the plank of wood and just perform your normal squat. So obviously making sure feet are about shoulders width apart, toes facing forward. Gonna keep those abs nice and tight, chest nice and proud, look forward and squat. This will help obviously try and keep their heels onto the ground or the plank of wood. Obviously for people who have really tight muscles, you're going to need something a bit thicker than this. But obviously this is just an example. Another common fault would be trying to keep upright. You see a lot of people when they go into their squats, their body just faces forward. You may kind of have the knees and toes in line, great, but obviously you want to try and keep this upper body upright as much as you can. A good way to do this is to use something to hold above your head, a bar or a broom. What I've got here is a barbell. Have a nice wide grip, and I'm just going to do a normal squat again, toes facing forward, about shoulders width apart. Going to go into our squat, but the aim is to keep this bar above my head. So when we squat down, you're pulling this bar back as much as possible. If when you go to do your squat, the bar starts to fall forward, that's where you need to start pulling this bar back, try and get better posture. Having something to hold above your head trains your body to try and sit upright. This way you know if your hands are in front of you, your body's leaning forward too much. Also, a lot of people find they can't go low enough, otherwise they feel like they're going to fall back. You'll see fairly good posture all the way down until you get to possibly around here, and then they feel like they're going to fall back onto the floor basically. A great way to overcome this is to have a bench or something to sit on. You might want to start with a normal chair at home, so it's a bit higher so it's a lot easier, you feel a bit more comfortable. Basically, with a bench or the chair, have it behind you. Again, feet about shoulders width apart, and you're just going to sit down onto the chair or bench. And again, try and stand up. Just getting used to the motion of putting more weight into your heels than onto your toes. When you go to sit down, you don't sit like this, or you see a lot of people trying to do in their squats. What you do is put most of your weight into your heels and sit back. This is what we're trying to train the body to do during a squat. Having something to sit on also gives you that reassurance that if you do fall back, you're not going to go far, you're not going to land on the floor and hurt yourself. Just practice. After a while your body will get used to putting a bit more weight into your heels, and you may find when you first start off you get to a certain point and just drop. But it's fine, again, over time your body will get used to it. Just try and slow yourself down, keep nice and controlled. Have your hands out in front of you if you wish. Squat down. And again, try and come up slowly rather than trying to use your momentum to get up. This is a great way to also teach your body to get that weight into your heels and also to perform that better squat. So I'll quickly go through all of them. Starting at your feet, have them shoulders width apart or slightly more. Have your toes facing forward. Have your feet slightly tensed up, and if possible, do it barefoot. Going up to your knees. When we go into our squat, we don't want our knees to go past our toes. Imagine there's a line or a wall in front of you. Your knees don't want to go past where your toes make that line. Your hips, try and teach yourself to sit back, so getting that bum out. That allows you to sit back into your heels that bit more when you go into your squat. So if you try and have your bum in, it's not going to work. Your knees are going to go over your toes, and that's it. Keeping your abs tight at all times during your squat. Even though it's just body weight, it's still good to help keep the posture, and it's good training. Keep that chest upright and pulling those shoulders back to help keep a nice proud chest. And finally, for your head, try and aim at looking at one thing and one thing only. That way your concentration is stuck on that and you don't start to wobble or go off balance.